Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we remember the lives lost in a tragic event that happened here in the Commonwealth. And one Eastern Kentucky community says a final goodbye to a true hero.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning to you. I'm Dakota Makris at 6:32 on the dot on this Friday morning. Okay, so briefly here, quickly, we just ran a story about National Zipper Day in our last half hour. So Brandon, here's the story. I know I've kept you on edge.
You toasted me off air.
I did, but I tell everybody else. So there was one Christmas, my grandmother bought me a zipper for Christmas, and she acted like that was the only thing she got me. And she said it's because I talk too much. And I agree with that. And now look what I do for a living. I talk. So
that is true.
A zipper can't stop me.
I'll come over there and zip it up here just a few minutes.
Okay.
See, exactly.
I don't know about that.
That's right. All right, let's get into it this morning with the weather part of the broadcast. And we're seeing a fairly nice start to the day with temperatures and conditions. It's a little bit dreary out there, though, as the overcast skies continue across the Pikeville area at US 119, US 23, and across a big chunk of our area this morning. But no rain actively falling, at least that I have seen so far. Temperatures in the 40s in Southwest Virginia, Middlesboro, and Monticello. Everybody else is in the 50s this morning, with London and Somerset being tied for our warmest spots in the region. And everybody is almost double digits warmer today than they were 24 hours ago. The exceptions to that, Moorhead, Jackson, Logan, Wise, Williamsburg, and Monticello. And they're still close to 10 degrees warmer this morning. 73 this afternoon, some chances for showers off and on throughout the day, and spotty form and better chances in the nighttime hours as we drop to right around 60. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, today marks the anniversary of a tragic event here in Kentucky. An Amish mother and her 5 children died in Bath County 2 years ago after their horse and buggy overturned in a swift-moving creek. Since then, emergency leaders have been working on ways to better notify the members of the Amish community of weather situations because of their religious beliefs. The Amish don't watch TV or listen to radio. Leaders in Bath County teamed up with the National Weather Service to come up with a new initiative.
While we can't stop loss of life, we can educate and we can get information to people and they can make better choices. We realize there is a hole and we needed to fill that hole, not just for weather safety information, but for being able to get information into those communities in a way which would benefit them, but also would fit their lifestyle.
Well, since that incident, first responders and the National Weather Service worked together to help spread life-saving weather information to those who live a self-sufficient lifestyle. An Eastern Kentucky community is saying goodbye to a 102-year-old World War II veteran. Well, he died this past Sunday, and yesterday he was laid to rest.
Dad was 102 in 5 months and 3 days. He lived an absolutely glorious life. Dad grew up with 5 brothers and a sister in a 3-bedroom house that had no electricity. They had a potbelly stove as their only form of heat and cooking. Dad was part of Whitesburg. As I said, 102 years. He was gone a few years for military. He was gone a couple years to start a business in Virginia. But most of those 102 years were spent right here in Whitesburg, and this town was very special to him.
Shocked, just like everyone else. He's so full of energy. 3 years ago, I saw him out on Sand Lake, out on a bush hog, clearing off a field in August, and I stopped. I said, "What are you doing out here? You're almost 100 years old." And he says, "You know, if I don't get it done, it's not going to get done." He loved jokes. Dan would laugh so hard, sometimes his face would just turn beet red. It was wonderful, but he was a very humble man. He really was, but he did like family. He was very big with his friends, and he loved a good joke.
But Dad loved being the center of attention, so he would absolutely love getting the recognition. He liked center stage.
One of my favorite memories, aside from singing in his wedding, would be the time he had his 100th birthday, and they had a small gathering, and I was crossing the street, and I didn't even know they were having the gathering, and he stopped what he was doing, and the car pulled over, and he said, "You know, we just had a small group, but I thought so much of you, I wanted to make sure you got this." And it was a 1919 wheat penny. He'll be remembered as a good man, a good hard-working man that really had a vision for helping people. And at the end of the day, that's the most we could ask for anybody.
Well, I'd like to thank his family for allowing me to cover that story. Combs was laid to rest at Green Acres Cemetery. The family of a murdered University of Kentucky student faced his killers yesterday in court. Last month, Justin Smith, Roman Gonzalez, and Efrain Diaz pleaded guilty in connection to Jonathan Kruger's death. Gonzalez admitted to pulling the trigger during a robbery attempt in 2015. Gonzalez was sentenced to a total of 35 years in prison. Smith was sentenced to 34 years, and Diaz was sentenced to 20 years.
It doesn't change up anything in the long run, but I feel like there's some responsibility and accountability, and I hadn't really felt that up till today.
At one time, prosecutors said they would seek the death penalty for Smith and Diaz. Gonzalez was not eligible because he was a minor when the shooting happened. The death penalty was taken off the table before the plea agreement was reached. Well, the Kentucky State Police Electronic Crimes Branch arrested a man in McCracken County on charges related to child sexual abuse. The crime branch team reported they arrested 33-year-old Zacharias S. Shifliff. The team began an investigation after they discovered he was sharing images of child sexual exploitation. He is charged with more than 90 counts of possession and 4 counts of distribution. 2 people are being charged after a series of burglaries and thefts. Stevie Anderson and Julie Clark were arrested in Powell County. Now, deputies spotted the 2 in a stolen vehicle. Investigators believe it was involved in burglaries and thefts. Well, those were in at least Montgomery, Clark, and Powell counties. The 2 have been charged with receiving stolen property and controlled substance possession. Both were taken to the Powell County Detention Center. Family and Children's Center officials say the Kentucky Derby is the 2nd largest event in the U.S. for human trafficking. The Junior League of Louisville has teamed up with the SOAP Project for the Soap Up the Kentucky Derby volunteer event on Saturday. Volunteers will label bars of soap and makeup wipes with information about where victims can get help before giving them to 150 hotels, motels, and restaurants in the area ahead of Derby on May 7th. Well, a legal officer is dealing another blow to horse trainer Bob Baffert. Baffert is fighting suspensions in multiple states because of medication violations. A hearing officer recommends the New York Racing Association ban him for 2 years. Churchill Downs already blocked him from the next 2 Kentucky Derbies. Baffert's team has 2 weeks to respond to the officer's recommendations. After no public events for 2 years, the Kentucky Horse Park was alive with fans on Thursday. The event was canceled in 2020 for the first time in 42 years because of the pandemic. In 2021, it only saw a closed-doors event, but yesterday, the Land Rover Kentucky 3-day event kicked off with events and a crowd.
We really missed our spectators. You know, they were usually the cross-country course that's on Saturday. It's packed with spectators, and we have a big tailgating area on Saturday for cross-country. We missed that a lot last year, and it's back and better than ever.
The event will finish on Sunday with stadium jumping. Tickets are still available. Well, back here in our region, yesterday was the kickoff to the Kinfolk reunion in Prestonsburg. At the Jenny Wiley Amphitheater, Sunday Best hosted a kickoff show to get the weekend started. This is the 2nd year of the Kinfolk reunion, and Sunday Best says they are excited to be back.
It's the 2nd year we've had the Kinfolk reunion, but this year, like he said, it's brand new and different from last year. So starting on a Thursday this year instead of a Friday. So, and like he said, this is our first time ever playing at the amphitheater.
Well, the Kinfolk reunion is tonight and tomorrow at Archer Park in Prestonsburg from 5 to around 10 p.m. and tickets are $25 per car.
6:40 on this Friday morning. We are looking at some milder temperatures out there, but still a bit cool in spots, including parts of Southwest Virginia, Middlesboro, and Monticello, who are all in the 40s. Got 50s across the rest of the region. Prestonsburg just literally dropped to 50 on the air. 55 London and Somerset, some of our warmer spots this morning. Breakfast forecast, not too bad as you head out the door. It's getting closer to 50 all the time, but we'll climb quickly as we get later into the daytime hours once the sun fully comes up. Even though it's going to be behind the clouds, should warm us up a couple degrees in just about an hour. Dakota?
All right, Brandon, thank you so much. 6:41 when we come back here on Mountain News this morning. A major biotech company works on a COVID-19 vaccine for children as young as 6 months old. Stay with us.